welcome back. If we haven't met yet, my name is Tiffany. Today we're gonna head off to Pottery Barn to gather some inspiration. Then we'll stop at some thrift stores. Then I'll show you how you can recreate the look for less. Although I don't always follow trends, I find it fun to go browse stores like this and look at the displays and take note of sizes and shapes and textures and colors. I was noticing a lot of blues and browns throughout this store. And now we're headed off to some thrift stores to see what we can find to recreate that high-end look, but for a fraction of the price. As I'm browsing through these stores, I'm looking for items that have potential. It's generally pretty simple to change the color of something, and I somewhat disregard its intended use and try to figure out how something could possibly be used. And now I'm headed off to the regular Goodwill in town. Their prices are oftentimes higher than I'm willing to pay. If I find something that I feel is overpriced, sometimes I'll just wait until sale tag day and come back and see if it's still there. And of course, I had to stop at the Goodwill outlet or the Goodwill Bins, where you pay for items by the pound. Each of these stores does things a little bit different, and pricing may vary from store to store, but for reference, at our store, they're currently charging $1.49 per pound for housewares and $2.29 a pound for linens. And if an item is over a certain weight threshold, they'll charge a flat fee to help keep it affordable. If you're interested in seeing if there's one of these stores in your area, I've put together a list of all Goodwill Bins locations I could find, and I'll have that down in the description box if you want to go check that out. When I found this, it didn't have a price tag on it. They offered to sell it to me for $6. As you can see here, the leaves are discolored. They had turned kind of blue. I love these ottomans, but at $399 each, they're not quite in the budget. When I walked into this store, I spotted these right away, and someone had just donated them, and the manager offered to sell them to me for $15 each. I ordered this king-size blanket from Amazon, and if you follow me, you know that I do not sew, but for this project, I decided to give it a try. I believe my last experience with sewing was 7th grade home ec, so it's been a while. My sweet mama offered to let me use her sewing machine, and she very patiently walked me through this project. Again, to purchase these from Pottery Barn, it would cost approximately $800, but here we were able to recreate that look for a total of $52. One thing that I found I'm very drawn to in design is texture. I picked up this vase for $3. Here I'm using some leftover paint and joint compound mixture from my last video and just adding more joint compound, some wood glue, and some white acrylic paint. My first thought here was to use a trowel, but it was just too stiff and it wasn't working great. So I then decided to try using a comb. And once again, that just wasn't giving the look that I was going for. So ultimately, I decided to first brush one coat on and let that dry. Once dry, I went over it with some water to smooth it out. I then remembered that I had this in my baking supplies. I believe it's intended for cakes. I've never actually used it, but today we're going to use it. I really like that this had some flex to it so it could curve with the vase. Because it was so wide, it was a little tricky to work with, so I decided to cut it in half. I then smoothed out that top edge. Once that was completely dry, I went over it with a 60 grit sanding sponge. And then touched up any little bubbles or missing spots in the texture. This blanket was really nice quality and reminded me of something that you would find in a high-end store like Pottery Barn. For this next project, everything I'm working with here, I picked up out of the Goodwill Bins. I've had these for years and I haven't been using them. I found this sign in the Goodwill Bins and they charged me a flat rate of $3.49. When I redo a dresser or a piece of furniture, if it has knobs that I think I could use, I save those, so I had these on hand. And here's a little trick for figuring out exactly where to drill the holes. Ideally, you would measure here, but I just decided to eyeball it. I was able to pick this up on Red Sale Tag Day, so I got this for $1.99. I then ordered these Real Touch tulips from Amazon. If you wanted to, you could put a band of ribbon around the bottom or paint that bottom section, or even add some water to make these look a little bit more realistic. This here was another Amazon find. When I tried to remove that label, it wanted to rip. So here I'm using my hair dryer to warm up that label and loosen up that adhesive. Once that was primed, I went over it with this white hammered paint. Weighing in at just 0.3 pounds, this cost me approximately 45 cents. These are super functional and great for hiding away those remote controls and things like that. And this looks really similar to the Pottery Barn ones, but for a fraction of the price. Weighing in at exactly 1 pound, these cost me $1.49 each. I'm always a fan of things that are functional, but also aesthetically pleasing. I found this in the Goodwill Bins, and I decided to change the shape. Oftentimes when I do things like this, I'm just experimenting with different finishes to see what I end up with, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. These flowers were again another Amazon find. These feel so real and I think they're beautiful. I know faux florals are not everyone's favorite thing, but for me, I do not have a green thumb, and realistically, I'm not going to go out and buy fresh florals. These are a great way to bring in some beautiful flowers, invest once, and enjoy them for years and years to come. And of course, I'll have these linked for you guys if you want to go check them out. everything that I can linked for you down in that description box. If you enjoyed this video, would you please do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button? And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And if you like this video, I think you'll enjoy this one as well. As always, my prayer is that you come away feeling encouraged that you truly can create beautiful spaces on a budget. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'll see you next time.